I'm not here to explain myself. I'm not here to make you understand why I was the way I was. I'm just here to say, I know what it cost you, and I owe you that. To the boy I was, who needed someone to hold him, and got silence instead, and learned to hold himself. I'm sorry I kept burying you every time you surfaced. I'm sorry I mistook your softness for a threat. To my mother, who carried everything, got a son, who watched and learned to take, who learned that women were supposed to carry, who never once thought to ask what she could give instead of take. To every version of myself I abandoned, every time the world said that version wasn't enough, I left you there at every door that mattered, and walked through harder when I should've walked through soft. I can't undo it, can't unlive a single day, but I can stand here in the full weight of it and say what I should've said long before the day I owe you that. Not explanation, not the reason, dressed up as a cause. I owe you that full acknowledgement of every single thing that was mine, not yours. I owe you that. The truth without the armor, I owe you that. The man behind the wall, I owe you that. Not because it fixes it, but because you lived it, and you deserve to hear that I know, that I know, that I finally know. To the woman who loved me at my hardest, who reached for me through walls I wouldn't name, who stayed longer than anyone should have, and left only when staying became its own kind of pain. I took your softness and called it expectation, took your love and called it pressure on me, took everything you offer with closed hands, and wondered why you finally stopped offering. To my children who watched me perform strength while they needed me to just be present and real, who learned from me that love is just proximity, who never saw their father know how to feel. I can't undo it, can't unlive a single day, but I can stand here in the full weight of it and say what I should've said long before the day I owe you that. Not explanation, not a reason, dressed up as a cause. I owe you that full acknowledgement of every single thing that was mine, not yours. I owe you that. The truth without the armor, I owe you that. The man behind the wall, I owe you that. Not because it fixes it, but because you lived it, and you deserve to hear that I know. Accountability isn't punishment, it isn't flagellation, it isn't falling apart, it's just standing in the full light of what you did and who it touched, and not flinching. It's the bravest thing I've ever done, standing here, saying I know, without asking for forgiveness, without making my reckoning. Your responsibility. You don't owe me forgiveness, you don't owe me peace, you don't owe me anything. That's not what this is. This is just me finally being big enough to say, I see what I did, I see what it cost, I see you, and I owe you that. I owe Not asking for absolution, not asking you to heal me. It's mine to carry now, it's mine to do. Just wanted you to know that I know, that I finally know what I put you through.